Today I'm going to show you how I make risotto. So I got everything laid out here. In this pot back here, I've got 4 cups of chicken broth. And I had brought that up to a boil and then backed it down so it's warm. Over here, I've got my pan just warming up. I'm going to put about, well, let's do it. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, which is about 2 times around the dish. Around the pan, rather. Shallots, got a quarter of a shallot here. Gonna put that in here. Now I'm gonna saute this, and I'm gonna let this go for a good 3-4 minutes until it starts to get translucent. Okay, my onions are just the way I want them. They're just translucent. I threw in a couple of garlic cloves that I grated. And now what I'm gonna do is, you can see there's just that little brown. You don't wanna go any further than that. Now what I wanna do is I wanna add that arborio rice. I'm gonna keep a couple kernels here to show you what it looks like. The arborio is, it's a short grain fat rice, lots of starch when it starts cooking, and that's what we want because that is what's going to give us the creaminess in the risotto. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just stirring this until it starts to toast a little bit. This is kind of a long process, so what I've got is some music going on in the background to keep me company. I'm gonna let this toast, and when that's toasted, I'm gonna put in a little white wine. Oh, we're almost there. Yep, I can see what's happening. It's changed color ever so slightly, and I can barely see it toast. But the most important thing is I can hear that little crackle. There it is. Now I'm gonna put the wine in and let it reduce by half. Whenever you're pouring a cold liquid into a hot pan, pour it over a spoon so that it doesn't splash up on you. Oh yeah. That's what we want. We're gonna stir this around. We're gonna let that reduce. And the pan is hot, it's reducing right away. I'm gonna let this go while I can hear till I can smell the wine is almost gone. Okay, that was fast. I'm only cooking a cup of arborio rice. That's why the measurements are less. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ladle in a couple of ladles of this warm chicken broth. And you want the chicken broth warm because you want it the same, you want the rice and the chicken broth to be the same temperature. That allows it to, well, first of all, it'll cook quicker, but if you put cold in there, it's going to take a while to come up to temperature, and it changes the consistency of the rice when it's cooked that way. All right, so this is what we want. We're starting to see that beautiful creaminess. Can you see it? I love this. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to keep adding more liquid and stirring, and this could take 8 to 10 minutes, but it's so rewarding in the long run. So what I want to show you, how do you know when to put in the next amount of liquid? So I'm going to keep stirring this, and when I can see that, when I can move my spoon over the rice and it leaves a trail, I know that it's absorbed enough rice. So I will be back in a few minutes. Hey, it's been about 12 to 15 minutes, I'd say. And what I've been doing is just adding that warm chicken broth a ladle at a time. And you don't want to rush this. Give yourself permission to just take the time, enjoy the process, it took, for 1 cup of Arborio rice, it took every bit of 4 cups of broth. And so you just take your time and you do it. Look at how creamy this is. I'm just about ready to give it a test. Before I do that, I wanted to say, if you're enjoying this video, do me a favor, click the like button and the share button. And I always tell everybody, everyone's welcome to join my group. We talk about food, we share videos. It's a nice place to gather. I also would like to hear, I'm showing you the recipe as I was taught and how my family makes it. I would love to hear, how would you do differently? What would you do differently? What do you think I'm doing that's either correct, incorrect, according to how you learned? Let's taste this. See, this is perfect. And what I like about it, it still has a little bit of bite. You don't want it to be, so I got this way down. You don't want it to be mushy. The other thing is, I meant to mention earlier, is use a wooden spoon as you're stirring this. The metal spoons can sometimes break up the rice, and you don't want that. You want it to retain its shape. And but look at how gorgeous this is. Now I tasted it, and I'm going to add about a half cup of Parmesan. I'm just turning the stove off. I'm going to stir this in here. I'm going to taste it again. You noticed I didn't add any salt. That's because my chicken broth, I wasn't sure how salty it was going to make the risotto. It tasted pretty good. It needed a little bit, to me it needed a little bit of salt. But instead of putting the salt in, I'm putting the Parmesan. Now, oh my gosh, that has just made it amazing. I hope you try these at home. If you try this recipe, please let me know. And the thing is, risotto isn't hard to make. The key is patience. So let me taste this now. Perfect. Perfect. I hope you're going to try this. I will show you how I plate it up. Okay, what I like to do when I plate it, give yourself a really nice bowl. This is where I will use a good spoon. Put it right in the middle. You can top it with anything you like. I like it just like this. Please let me know, like I say, what you think. And if you try it, Grandma would say, mangia. Ciao for now.